Shalom, shalom. It's your brother Malcolm coming at you with another lesson. Giving all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS, who are the true leaders of all Israel on earth today. And salutations to you Akim, who are out there on the four corners of the earth that are doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking your lives and your freedom to do so. And salutations to the confusion of face Akim that has joined unto us. And a few Akwaf that are listening and learning to you, I say shalom. It's going to be a little reading from the book of the Wisdom of Solomon. And without any further ado, let's just jump right into it. Okay, it says first scripture is Wisdom of Solomon 3, verses 1. It said, "But the souls of the righteous are in the hand of power, and there are none, and there shall no torments touch them." All right, so there are the heathen that are round about us. They plan, or they plan great destruction for us. But the scripture says, like I do believe is Isaiah 54:17. It says, "No weapon formed against thee shall prosper." There are gonna be men who are gonna be raised up in this current society that is fallen, and they're going to deliver the message of the Most High, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and the purpose of the Most High is going to be done through them, and there's nothing that anyone can do about it to stop it. Okay, no matter what you do, what you say, because it's going to happen. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2. Verse 20, "Let us condemn him with a shameful death, for by his own sin he shall be respected." All right, so Esau wants to condemn us with a shameful death, man. All right, but that death is going to come back on them the same way it did Ammon, man. All right, and you can go to the book of Esther to read about Haman's plans to destroy Mordecai and the Jews, and how the Lord turned it on him, man. And then Ammon or Ammon is Amalek, which are the fake Jews today. The bulk and the majority of them are Amalekites, man. They're Amalek. The prophecy in the scriptures reveal that. All right, we know that Esau, but that the chief house of Esau is Amalek, and that's the impostor Jewish people. This is Wisdom of Solomon, verse 1. And by the way, this book, the Wisdom of Solomon, in the inauguration of Donald Trump, he in his inauguration, they actually read from the Wisdom of Solomon. All right. This is Wisdom of Solomon 1:14 and 15. It says, "For he created all things that they might have their being, and the generations of the world were healthful, and there is no poison of destruction in them, nor kingdom of death upon this earth, for righteousness is immortal." So the men of the Lord are going to get those new bodies. They're going to get lifted up, and they're going to be immortal, man. All right? They're going to rule forever and ever. They were there in the beginning of creation, man. All right? You go to Ephesians, when you go to Jeremiah, when it talks about, that wasn't for me. I wasn't going to get that. I was going to stay strictly in the Wisdom of Solomon, but let's shoot to Ephesians real quick. Yeah, this is Ephesians, first chapter, verse 5. And it says, "Having predestinated us unto the adoption of children by Yahushua HaMashiach to himself according to the good pleasure of his will." So in the beginning, You know, we were there in the beginning, man. All right, we were there. We were there in the beginning of creation, and those same entities that are spoken, those same said creations, you know, in the form of the patriarchs and their seed in Revelation the 7th chapter. That's what they're talking about, man, because they're gonna rule they're gonna rule forever and ever and ever, man. You know, a world without end, a nation without end. Okay, they're no longer gonna fall and sin and go against the Most High, and none of that's gonna happen ever again, man. Yeah, this is Jeremiah 1:5. It says, "Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee, and before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations." Before we even came here, why? Because they were there in the beginning. The first thing that the Most High created, which we're gonna read, was Yahushai. And then Yahushua created the archangels and the elect, and then the archangels and the elect, they create everything that you see, smell, and hear. The planets, the stars, the waters, you know, the clouds, the birds, the snakes, the bears, the animals, the insects, the flowers, the different fruits and food. They did all that. The trees. The Lord didn't get off his throne. That's how mighty he is. He gave them the power to do so, and then they did it. All right, and this is what drives, you know, the so-called white man so angry, you know, so it gets him so mad, so full and infuriated, and this is why he lies about everything. Just watch the video where the brother revealed that it was a brother named James Landy, I think, or Landry, who was the main guy behind the Atari and Nintendo, and look what those inventions brought forth. Here you are thinking these are Japanese and you know, and inspired by Ammon and Esau, and it turns out it's a Jake that was behind it all along, man. Okay, it was a Jake that was behind it all along. A piece of lint was floating around. So you know, Jake didn't get any credit for what they've done, man, but. You know, here in this society. But this is Wisdom of Solomon 5, verses 1 and 2. "Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such have afflicted him and made no account of his labors," as I just said, man. And now we're standing in your face, showing you. And this is shame, man. Shameful spewing is being done unto the so-called white man's glory, man. He doesn't like it, man. All right? Especially now that the Greeks and the Romans are being exposed, man, to be the Edomites, that they're Edom, and Edom is that nation to be destroyed. Edom is the actual wicked that was on the earth. And then, hey, I watched an episode of Spartacus last night, man. The Edomites were beyond wicked, man. Sneaky and traitorous and backstabbing and back even to their own, man. You know, this is verse 2. It says, "And when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation so far beyond all that they look for," man. So they're going to be, you know, afraid when those chariots show up, man. And they're amazed that you know, and not the elite Edomites, but like the everyday Joe six-pack Edomites, because they've been taught lies too. They've inherited lies, man, and they think that, you know, that Jake, Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans are just nothing. That they're nothing special. They have no real contributions to history and no real culture. And why? Because their forefathers set it up that way by condemning, not condemning, but covering up and hiding all the information about who's who and who really did what and what races were. You know, Esau in his history, he put his face on everything. Everything great that was done in the world, when you open up a book, it's going to be a pale face there. Which 90% of the time, that's a lie, man. Okay? This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, verses 3 and 4. "For power it is given unto Yahweh, and sovereignty from the highest, who shall try your works and search out your counsels. Because being ministers of his kingdom, ye have not judged aright, nor kept the law, nor walked after the counsel of power." So Esau, all right, they have not walked after the counsel of power, even though they've acknowledged that the Bible is the law of the land. All right, according to one of America's favorite son, which I'm gonna actually do another sit down later on that very subject, man. All right, and so once they pick this book up, they make themselves guilty, man. Okay, this is Wisdom of Solomon 8, verses 1 through 4, and it says, "Wisdom reacheth from one end to another, mightily and sweetly doth she order all things. I love her, and sought her out from my youth. I desire to make her my spouse, and I was a lover of her beauty. And in that she is conversant with Yahweh, with power. She magnifieth her nobility. Yeah, Yahweh of all things himself loved her. For she is privy to the mysteries of the knowledge of power, and lover of his works." Okay, so wisdom here is talking about, just like it's talking about in the book of Proverbs, in the book of Ecclesiastes, and in the wisdom and in the Song of Solomon. Wisdom is a woman. All right, he's referring to wisdom as a woman. All right, which is your first love, should be your first wife, just as Israel is looked at as the bride of the Lord, man. Anything that is possessive in the Bible, that is possession, is referred to as a wife or a woman, because a woman is a possession, man. All right, the scripture clearly says, "He that getteth a wife getteth a possession." But in this society, you know, no possession rules over you, man. Your possession, she got an opinion. You know, your possession can go to Esau to overrule you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Your possession can take your children away from you and then make you pay for them. You know why? Just by, you know. But the Lord is going to change all that, man. All right. This is Wisdom of Solomon in the final scripture. You know, this is Wisdom of Solomon 10, verses 1 and 2. "She preserved the first formed father of the world that was created alone, and brought him out of his fall, and gave him power to rule all things." And that first thing created, like I said, was Yahweh Shai. When you go to John 1:1, it says, you know, you can read John 1:1 out for yourself. But basically, it's telling you that the first thing created was Yahweh Shai. And all right, and then he became flesh. He came down in the flesh. But first thing he created was the archangels and the elect, man. All right, and then he's going to set that power structure up here on earth. All right, started with himself, King David, the 12 apostles, disciples, the patriarchs of the men in the Tanakh, the prophets, and then the rest of the 144,000 who are the workers, the men who stood with the prophets and stood with the disciples and kept the laws. All right, who's been selected to be the elect. So with that, I hope this was edifying and motivating, you know, because this was for the elect and none else. And all praise, glory, and honor be unto Yahweh Shem Shai and Shalom.